because these different societies become very powerful and very wealthy, but they have an agenda. They have a particular agenda that they're trying to create or to bring into being, and therefore they will build the whole world around you. And you accept what, when you're a child, a baby, you come into the world and you just accept everything. And if you don't grow up, you just, as a grown person, you just accept whatever there is because that's the way it is, but that's not the way it is.
Have you ever wondered why we call it spelling when we combine letters to form words? Or why do legal and financial systems use terms like currency, contract, or even magic words? These aren't just linguistic quirks, they hint at something far deeper. Jordan Maxwell dedicated his life to uncovering this hidden truth, the immense power of words and their ability to shape our reality in ways we rarely perceive. The language of spells. As it turns out, Maxwell was no ordinary researcher. He was a seeker of truth, a man unafraid to challenge the conventions of history, religion, and language. Maxwell proposed that the words we use could be seen as spells, imbued with intention and carrying echoes of ancient wisdom. To him, the way we speak, the words we choose, and the meanings we assign are not accidental. They are rooted in systems of control and spiritual influence that go back thousands of years. To grasp the essence of Maxwell's work, you must first understand the ancient belief that words are a form of magic. This idea is found across cultures and eras. In the Bible, the book of Genesis begins with, "In the beginning was the Word." The universe, according to this text, was spoken into existence. Similarly, in Egyptian mythology, the god Thoth was said to have created the world with words, wielding language as a divine force. The Hindu tradition echoes this with the concept of Om, the sacred sound from which all creation flows. Maxwell connected these ancient teachings to modern language, arguing that the magic of words never disappeared. It was simply hidden in plain sight. Take the word spell, for example. In ancient times, a spell was an incantation, a deliberate arrangement of sounds and words to bring about a desired effect. Today, we use the same words to describe how we write or articulate language. Is this a coincidence? Maxwell didn't think so. He believed that every time we speak or write, we are casting tiny spells, shaping the reality around us in ways we might not even realize. Maxwell often spoke about how the words we use in commerce and law are steeped in ancient symbolism. The word currency, for instance, is derived from the idea of a current, a flow of energy. Money, in his view, is not just a physical object but a symbol of energy exchange, much like the way rivers flow toward the ocean. When you think of money in this way, you begin to see the invisible threads of power that connect us all, dictated by the language of trade and transaction. Another word Maxwell frequently analyzed was contract. To him, this was not just a legal term but a deeply spiritual concept. A contract binds, limits, and creates obligations. Its roots can be traced to the ancient idea of a pact or covenant, something sacred and binding. In this way, every contract we enter, whether written or spoken, becomes a form of magical agreement, one that shapes our reality and the roles we play within it. Maxwell's teachings often pointed to the idea that those in power have long understood the magical nature of words. Whether it's religious leaders invoking divine authority, politicians crafting persuasive speeches, or corporations selling products through carefully chosen slogans, the mastery of language has always been a way to influence and control. Maxwell argued that by understanding this, we could reclaim our own power. If words can create, he insisted, then they can also liberate. The sorcerer's apprentice. To illustrate his point, Maxwell often turned to parables and stories. One of his favorites was the tale of the sorcerer's apprentice. In this story, a young apprentice gains access to his master's magical words and spells, but lacks the wisdom to wield them responsibly. Chaos ensues, teaching the lesson that knowledge without understanding can be dangerous. Maxwell saw this as a metaphor for modern humanity. We have inherited the magic of language, But in our ignorance, we use it carelessly, often to our own detriment. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it has practical implications. Maxwell encouraged people to pay close attention to the words they use, especially in moments of conflict, intention setting, or self-expression. He believed that by choosing words with care, we could begin to shape a more harmonious reality. For instance, instead of saying, "I can't," we could say, "I'm learning to." Instead of saying, "I'm lost," we could say, "I'm finding my way." Small shifts in language, he argued, create ripples that influence not only our own minds, but the world around us. One of the most striking aspects of Maxwell's teachings is how they challenge us to question what we take for granted. He showed us that magic isn't just something from fairy tales, it's woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. As you begin to see the world through this lens, everything changes. Words are no longer just sounds or symbols, they become tools, spells, and portals to a deeper understanding of reality. You start to see how your own words shape your experience, how they influence your relationships, and how they connect you to something far greater than yourself. Words matter. Words hold power. They can uplift or tear down, heal or harm, and even set us free or bind us. The choice is ours. And as we step into this awareness, we begin to reclaim a magic that has always been ours. The magic of language, the magic of creation, the magic of being human. Jordan Maxwell often emphasized how the ancient truths hidden in language are like parables, stories that carry wisdom beneath the surface, waiting for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. To explore the deeper power of words, let's consider a famous parable, the story of the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel comes from the book of Genesis, and its imagery is unforgettable. Humanity, united in language and purpose, decides to build a tower that reaches the heavens. They want to touch the divine, to achieve a power that rivals that of the gods. Their ambition is immense, but so is their hubris. According to the story, God sees this unity and ambition as dangerous. To prevent humanity from overstepping its bounds, he confuses their language, scattering them across the earth and making it impossible for them to understand one another. The tower, unfinished and abandoned, stands as a testament to the limits of human pride and the power of words to unite or divide. Maxwell often referenced this parable as an example of how language shapes not only communication, but reality itself. In the story, a single unified language gave humanity the ability to dream bigger, collaborate, and build something extraordinary. But when that shared language was fractured, so too was their collective vision. The story suggests that language is not just a tool for expression, it is the very foundation of unity and creation. This parable, though ancient, speaks directly to the heart of Maxwell's teachings. He believed that humanity's journey is not just about reclaiming lost languages or rediscovering ancient words, it's about understanding the power those words hold. When we use language carelessly, through lies, manipulation, or self-doubt, we scatter our energy, much like the people of Babel. But when we align our words with truth, intention, and understanding, we build something far more enduring than a tower. We build bridges to one another and to the divine. Maxwell often suggested that the Tower of Babel might symbolize systems of power and control. The confusion of language, in his view, didn't end with the scattering of people. It continues today through the manipulation of words and meanings. Governments, religions, and corporations often twist language to serve their own ends, creating division and confusion. Phrases like war on terror or freedom of choice are loaded with meanings that shape how we think and feel, often without us realizing it. But Maxwell also believed that the story holds a deeper lesson: the power to rebuild. Just as the people of Babel lost their unity through the scattering of language, we have the power to reclaim that unity by becoming more mindful of our words. He often said that the magic of language isn't in its complexity, but in its simplicity. It's not about learning ancient spells or obscure words. It's about speaking with clarity, intention, and truth. The Tower of Babel reminds us that our words carry the weight of creation. Every sentence we speak is like a brick in a tower, building something unseen but very real. Are we building walls that divide or bridges that connect? Are we constructing a reality that uplifts us or one that confines us? These are the questions Maxwell urged us to consider. To Maxwell, the Tower of Babel wasn't just a cautionary tale, it was a call to action. It challenges us to use our words wisely, to be conscious of the spells we cast with our language, and to understand that every word we speak shapes the world we live in. When we speak with intention, we reclaim the ancient magic of language, transforming confusion into clarity and division into unity. Yet, as powerful as words can be, they are not infallible. They can be twisted, misused, and wielded as weapons. History is filled with examples of how rhetoric has been used to manipulate, control, and divide. Let us dive deeper into the power of words by looking at the life and philosophy of a man who saw pleasure not as an escape, but as a guiding principle. Epicurus, a philosopher from ancient Greece, is often misunderstood. Some think of him as a lover of indulgence, a man who worshipped fine wine and lavish feasts. Yet his teachings reveal something far more profound. The idea that true pleasure lies in simplicity, mindfulness, and the absence of unnecessary suffering. Epicurus believed that words, just like actions, could either bring peace to the soul or turmoil to the mind. He taught that the stories we tell ourselves, the way we name our experiences and describe the world, shape our reality just as much as our external circumstances do. Imagine for a moment two people experiencing the same storm. One curses the rain, calling it a disaster, a ruined day. The other sees it as nourishment for the earth, an opportunity to pause and reflect. The storm is the same, but the words they use transform their experience entirely. This is where Epicurus's philosophy becomes vital. He argued that much of human suffering comes not from the world itself, but from the way we interpret it. His focus on words was not ceremonial like in magic, nor manipulative like in the matrix Jordan Maxwell described, but deeply personal. For Epicurus, the words we think and speak carry the power to create inner harmony or discord. He spoke often about ataraxia, a state of serene calm, free from worry and fear. To achieve this, he advised examining the words we attach to our desires and fears. He believed that many of the things we label as needs are not necessities at all, but illusions created by the stories we've absorbed from society. Words like success, failure, or even happiness can sometimes trap us, making us chase things that don't truly satisfy the soul. In this sense, Epicurus was a master of reframing. He encouraged people to redefine what they thought of as wealth, beauty, or pleasure. He believed that calling a simple meal of bread and water abundance could bring more joy than labeling a banquet as not enough. His teachings remind us that words can be a tool for liberation, helping us break free from the false promises of hedonism that thrive on excess. When we connect Epicurus's insights to the themes of ceremonial magic and the matrix of power, a striking truth emerges. Whether through ritual, societal constructs, or personal reflection, the words we use carry immense power. They can align us with the natural rhythms of the universe as seen in ceremonial magic. They can control and manipulate, as Jordan Maxwell revealed, but they can also bring us back to ourselves, to a place of peace and clarity, as Epicurus taught. The bridge between these worlds is intention. Epicurus believed that the right words, spoken with clarity and kindness, could calm the storms within us. In the same way, a magician carefully chooses their incantations, and those who see through the matrix deliberately reclaim the language that binds them. The common thread is this: our words are never neutral. They either uplift or oppress, bring clarity or confusion, and create harmony or division. Epicurus shows us a path where words become tools for personal freedom. His philosophy invites us to ask, what stories am I telling myself? What labels have I accepted without question? These questions are not just philosophical, they are deeply practical. They remind us that even in a world filled with complexity and noise, we have the power to choose the words that shape our reality. When we live with this awareness, we begin to see words not just as sounds or symbols, but as seeds. Each word we speak or think plants something in the garden of our lives. With care and mindfulness, these seeds can grow into something extraordinary, something that reflects the deepest truths of who we are and who we wish to become. The allure of the dark. One cannot ignore the cautionary tale of Faust, the scholar who sold his soul to the devil for knowledge and power. At first, he reveled in the boundless possibilities, but as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that these gains came at the cost of his soul, his peace, and his humanity. The allure of dark magic is rooted in this same seduction, a shortcut to what feels out of reach by ordinary means. Yet, as Faust and countless others have shown, the pursuit of control over the invisible always exacts a price far greater than imagined. This fascination with shortcuts didn't vanish with the rituals of ancient magicians. It has evolved, cloaked now in modern practices that are less mystical but equally manipulative. The pursuit of control persists, whether through exploiting spiritual forces or leveraging human psychology. Maxwell himself often remarked on the uncanny parallels between the rituals of the past and the systems of the present. Consider the world of marketing, politics, or corporate influence. These domains wield strategies that echo the same principles as dark magic, offering irresistible promises of success, wealth, or happiness, yet beneath the surface, they take more than they give. Unwilling to return to their realms, the forces behind dark magic find fertile ground in human desires. Dark magic has always been dangerous, not merely for its immediate consequences, but because it attracts forces that thrive on imbalance and ego. Unlike practices rooted in harmony, which seek alignment with higher truths, dark magic is inherently transactional. Something is always given in exchange for something desired. But the promises made by these forces are rarely fulfilled without devastating consequences. They exploit human vulnerabilities, preying on the weaknesses that drive us to seek the unattainable: power, wealth, revenge, or even immortality. Take, for instance, the concept of persuasive psychology, often used in high-pressure sales or self-help industries. Promoters of such systems claim to hold the key to manifesting dreams, controlling one's destiny, or even reshaping reality. These claims tap into deep-seated desires, promising empowerment but often exploiting insecurities. The cost: time, energy, integrity, and often a sense of authenticity. The parallels to dark magic are undeniable. In both, the exchange is clear. Something essential is surrendered in pursuit of something desired. While ancient magicians may have performed elaborate rituals to summon spirits, modern practitioners summon data, algorithms, and psychological tactics. They aim to bend reality to their will, much like the magicians of old. Yet the outcome remains the same: a profound loss, whether it's of balance, integrity, or the ability to connect authentically with oneself and others. Maxwell often pointed out that these systems thrive because they mirror the allure of dark magic. They offer what seems impossible: shortcuts to wealth, power, or happiness. But like all shortcuts, they obscure the true cost. The loss isn't always tangible, but it is deeply felt: an emptiness, a disconnection, or a nagging sense of imbalance that cannot be ignored. Even more unsettling is how these practices have woven themselves into the fabric of modern life. Companies adopt aggressive marketing strategies, leaders manipulate public perception, and entire industries thrive on the promise of transformation. These modern rituals, performed in boardrooms and studios rather than candlelit chambers, are driven by the same intentions: to reshape the external world to fit human desires, often without regard for the consequences. As with the magicians of the past, the question arises, what is sacrificed in this pursuit of control? What do we lose when we trade authenticity for ambition, balance for influence, or connection for power? The seduction of these promises blinds us to the cost, just as it did to those who practiced the rituals of old. Maxwell believed that the lessons of dark magic are still relevant today, not as warnings against ancient practices, but as a call to examine the systems we participate in. He urged us to question the seductive promises of modern life, to ask ourselves what we're truly trading in the pursuit of our desires. In doing so, he challenged us to reclaim our power, not by seeking control, but by embracing alignment, balance, and truth. And so the story of dark magic continues, not as a relic of the past, but as a mirror for the present. It reminds us of the dangers of manipulation, the cost of shortcuts, and the enduring truth that what we seek externally can only truly be found within. What is your intention? While much of human history is marked by the pursuit of power and control, there is another approach, one that views the universe not as a force to conquer, but as a partner to collaborate with, in balance and respect. Maxwell's work shows us that the same power to shape reality through language can be wielded to liberate or bind. Where ceremonial magic sought harmony with universal forces, the structures Maxwell critiques often manipulate language to distort perception and maintain dominance. This transition invites us to explore the duality of language, how it can be used to elevate or enslave, to create freedom, or to reinforce control. The words we use daily or during rituals can either reflect manipulation or foster intentional creation. Understanding this duality is the key to reclaiming the sacred power of words in shaping our reality. When we speak of ceremonial magic, we speak of a tradition that understands the profound relationship between words and reality. The incantations, invocations, and sacred names uttered during rituals are not random. They are deliberate, calculated expressions designed to align the practitioner with higher forces. This understanding of language as a bridge between the seen and unseen illuminates a truth that extends beyond magic. Words shape the world around us, whether we wield them in ritual or conversation. Here lies the essence of ceremonial magic, a practice rooted in exploring the unseen with ethical intent and responsibility. Unlike dark magic, which thrives on self-serving desires, true ceremonial magic seeks alignment with universal truths. It begins with a profound question: what does it mean to be in tune with the forces around us? For those who earnestly pursue this path, power is not something to hoard but to share. It flows naturally when aligned with the rhythms of the universe. Think of it like swimming in a river. You could exhaust yourself fighting against the current, or you could learn to move with it, respecting its strength and subtle nuances. Ceremonial magic teaches the latter, a way to flow with the cosmic currents rather than against them. At its core, this practice is about recognizing our interconnectedness with something far greater. It emphasizes that individual strength arises from understanding and contributing to this larger whole. But this journey is no easy task. It demands discipline and a commitment to shaping one's character. Orders like Freemasonry or the Rosicrucian tradition highlight the importance of self-mastery, the ability to govern one's thoughts, emotions, and actions. True power begins within and extends outward, a ripple effect into the world. More importantly, ceremonial magic places ethics at its center. Before any ritual, the practitioner is called to reflect on a vital question: what is my intention? This reflection ensures that every act is guided by a responsibility to honor the balance of the universe rather than disrupt it. Just as Buddhism emphasizes compassion and mindfulness, the broader message is universal. The aim is not to dominate the world, but to align with it. How does this translate to daily life? It begins with the way we make choices. Are our decisions driven solely by personal desires, or do we consider their impact on others and the delicate balance of the world around us? Such a simple question carries profound implications. In this light, ceremonial magic serves as a poignant reminder that power itself is neutral, neither inherently good nor bad. Its value lies in how it is wielded. The true lesson of power is not about imposing our will upon the universe, but about finding harmony within it. This understanding prompts a deeper reflection. If power can serve as a force for balance, what does it reveal about our role in the world? Perhaps the answer resides at the intersection of the human and the cosmic, where ethics and spirituality intertwine. When power is wielded without balance or ethical grounding, it leads us further from what we truly seek. History is filled with examples of ceremonial magic being twisted into a means of manipulation, yet its core lesson endures. True power lies not in mastering external forces, but in transforming ourselves. This truth extends into the modern age. Even today, humanity yearns for the same things sought by ancient practitioners of ceremonial magic: control, harmony, and purpose. Though our methods may differ, our words, actions, and intentions remain the architects of our reality. What we pursue outwardly continues to reflect what we nurture or neglect within. Finally, Maxwell pondered an important philosophical question. What if the world we see is not the world as it is, but the world as it has been shaped for us? This is the question at the heart of Jordan Maxwell's groundbreaking work, Matrix of Power. Maxwell proposed the idea of an invisible framework, an intricate web of control potentially influenced by language, symbols, and beliefs. According to him, these tools have been used throughout history to manipulate our perception of reality, keeping us bound to illusions that serve the powerful rather than the truth. Take, for instance, the concept of authority. At its root, the word comes from the Latin auctoritas, meaning originator or source. Yet, over time, it has come to represent systems of power that demand obedience. Maxwell posited that such linguistic shifts are deliberate, designed to obscure the true nature of power and create a reality where we submit to external forces without question. Symbols, too, play a crucial role in this matrix of power. Maxwell often pointed to the symbols embedded in corporate logos, government seals, and religious iconography, suggesting they carry hidden meanings that influence us on a subconscious level. These symbols, like words, are a form of language, a silent script that speaks directly to our psyche. They shape how we perceive authority, value systems, and even our own identity, often without us realizing it. In this context, the words we use to describe the world become the very threads of the matrix. Consider the phrase, "the American dream." It conjures images of prosperity, freedom, and opportunity. Yet Maxwell argued that this dream is a carefully constructed narrative, one that encourages endless consumption and competition while keeping people tethered to a system that benefits the few. Maxwell's teachings invite us to take a closer look at the stories we've been told and the words we've internalized. Are they our truths, or have they been given to us to keep us within the boundaries of the matrix? The difference between freedom and control, he suggested, often lies in the language we accept without question. To break free from this linguistic web, Maxwell encouraged us to reclaim the power of words. This begins with awareness, seeing through the illusions and recognizing the scripts we've been handed. When we start to question the language of the matrix, we open the door to creating a new reality, one based not on manipulation, but on authenticity and truth. Maxwell's insights align with these ancient teachings, reminding us that words are not mere tools of communication, but instruments of creation. When used with intention, they have the power to dismantle illusions and reveal the truth. But this requires us to move beyond the surface of language and question the deeper forces at play. One of the most profound lessons from Matrix of Power is that the very systems designed to control us rely on our participation. Every time we repeat a lie, believe a misleading narrative, or use words without thought, we reinforce the matrix. But the moment we choose to speak from a place of awareness and integrity, we begin to unravel its hold. Breaking free requires more than rejecting the words of the matrix. It demands that we craft a new language, one rooted in love, truth, and unity. This isn't about escaping reality, but about creating a higher reality, one where words are not used to manipulate but to inspire and elevate. Maxwell's teachings offer a sobering reminder. The words that shape our reality can either bind us to illusions or set us free. The choice is ours. As we continue this journey, let us remember that every phrase we speak, every story we tell, and every belief we hold is a thread in the tapestry of existence. By choosing our words with care and intention, we have the power to weave a reality that reflects our highest truths. There's more to words than just meaning. Picture this. A gardener stands in the middle of a vast field, scattering seeds without much thought. Some fall on barren ground, others among weeds, but a few land in fertile soil. The seeds that thrive determine the landscape of that field. We are the gardeners of our reality, scattering words with every conversation and thought. Yet how often do we pause to consider the kind of garden we are planting? Even silence speaks volumes. In the Taoist text Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu writes, "Those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know." This isn't a condemnation of language, but a call to mindfulness. Silence, when used wisely, allows us to listen deeply to others, to ourselves, and to the universe. It's in the quiet moments that we can choose our words with intention, aligning them with the reality we wish to create. But there's something more to words than just their meaning. Have you ever felt the weight of an apology spoken with genuine regret, or the emptiness of one said without sincerity? Words carry energy. Their vibration resonates beyond their literal definition, reaching into the unseen realms of existence. This is why certain chants or prayers, repeated over centuries, seem to hold a mystical power. It's not just the meaning of the words, it's the energy infused into them through intention and repetition. Take, for example, the Sanskrit mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. It's not simply a phrase, it's a vessel of compassion and wisdom passed down through generations. To chant it is to align oneself with the vibrations of those virtues. Similarly, when we repeat affirmations like, "I am enough," or "I am loved," we are tuning ourselves to the frequency of those truths. But there is hope. Just as we can choose which wolf to feed, we can choose which words to speak. We can decide, moment by moment, whether our sentences will tear down or build up, whether they will cast shadows or light. The process begins within. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, what kind of reality am I shaping with my words? Are they seeds of harmony or discord? Do they reflect fear or love? Remember, every sentence is a choice, a brushstroke on the canvas of existence. And in the vast, interconnected web of life, those choices matter more than we may ever realize. In the next part of this journey, we'll explore the ancient practices that teach us how to harness the power of words with intention and care. But for now, let this truth settle in your heart. The words we speak, think, and believe are not just reflections of our reality. They are its creators. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.